Yes. That's what happened. I'm open for him one day.
I had to go.
I'm currently filling out 3 assignments. Yeah.
Just for it.
I did it
Number 1, Emma Martin. I have 16 quarters. 2, David.
6.
I have 6. 3, Karen.
8.
I have 8 minutes per mile. 4, Liam.
180 pages.
180 pages, yes. 5, RK.
11, 13, 17, 19.
11, 13, 17, 19. 6, Lucy.
18 squares.
I have 18 square units or units. Number 7, Lyle.
20.
20. 20 units. 8, Carter Reichert.
I believe 3 and then 4.
Problem number 8.
Yeah.
I have 18.
Yeah.
18 centimeters. Problem number 9. Sure, why not? Hayden. 11. 6 plus 5 is 11. 10, Sam. 10 should be 1/3. That should be 1/3. 11. LMA.
60 over 100.
11. I have 60 over 100. 12. Carter Bocek.
I have $3.43.
I have $2.20. $2.20. 13. Kels.
4 sides.
4 sides. 14. Reagan. D. 15. Ike.
24.
24 centimeters squared. 16. Robbins.
A.
17. Everybody says is 7. 18 should be 3x to the 4th, y to the 3rd power. 3x4, y3. 19 is 8. 19 is 8. And number 20 is 7. Well, 20 is 7. Carter Bocek.
I don't understand them stuff.
Do you have questions over answer, or what was the answers first before we do of the dues? No? LMA?
What was number 14 and number 16?
14 was D, 16 was A. Right?
What was number 4?
4 was 180. Hayden?
What was 20?
20 was 712. Sam?
Can you repeat number 5, please?
5 was 11, 13, 17, 19. Hayden, or right, Reagan? 2 was 6. Orion?
Number 4.
4 was 180. Now, Carter Bocek, what do you have?
What was number 12? Or
Wait,
how did I?
how do you do number 12? Is the question on the table. Let's look at number 12. Oh, ladies and gentlemen, and again, as always, children, I always highly encourage you, as we go through this, to get yourself a piece of note paper and write down notes in case you. But I can only encourage so much when somebody do it here. First of all, ladies and gentlemen, can I tell you a couple little helpful hints for problem number 12? Actually, 3 little hints. What 2-letter word do you see fall between 8% and 2750, Emily Robbins?
Oh.
And the word of means
Multiply.
multiply. Secondly, ladies and gentlemen, no matter what you think, if you're finding tax or tip or whatever of anything, it's always multiplication. You are never going to divide by a percent. It don't happen. Just get in your head. If the one case in a million you do need to divide by a percent, you'll get that one wrong, but it's never going to happen. Right? And the second thing is, ladies and gentlemen, please be very careful. The thing that people go wrong with percentages, I know I'm going to take 8% and multiply it by 2750. Okay, but I don't deal with percentages. I either need to make 8% a fraction or I need to make it a decimal. In this case, it's probably wiser to go which way, Ike? You got a choice, Ike? Which one? I thought so. You either need to make it a decimal or a fraction, Ike. 8% would be, what would you do? You even asked me this question yesterday. You said, would this be this or this? That was you?
Yeah.
Maybe you're both wearing red shirts. Are you sure? Oh, maybe it was you. I mean, you can make it a fraction, but you want to make it a percent. But you have to be very careful, or decimal. You have to be very careful when you make it a decimal, because if you put the wrong decimal, you'll find a lot of tax, because where does the decimal go, Emma Martin? What do I multiply? Yeah, you need 8% is 800ths, and 800ths is 0.08. If you just make it 0.8, you're finding an 80% tax rate, which is unheard of. You'd almost be doubling your cost. So then it's just a matter of taking 27, and these zeros don't matter at the end. You could knock those off and still get the same answer. This 0 matters. Between a decimal and an 8, that matters. Okay, but at the end, past the decimal, it doesn't. So you don't. 8 times that is 40. 56 and 4 is 60. 16 and 6 is 22. 1, 2, 3 decimal places. 1, 2, 3 decimal places. $2.20, which makes sense, ladies and gentlemen. You know, $2 on a $30 bill. That sounds about right. Okay. If you ended up with $22, that's a little high. You pay $22 tax on a 27 thing. You're almost paying as much in tax as you are, right, Ike? David says.
I don't understand why I got 7 more.
The number 7 or 7 total?
Number 7.
Good. What is the area of the rectangle of problem number 6? Well, that would, I suppose, should we do problem number 6, the rectangle? Let's just do it. You're up. I will sketch it out real fast. Oh, let me make it bigger. Let me get rid of this, make it larger, so I got something to work with here. Go smaller. Here is my x-axis, my y-axis, and what do we got here? Oh wait, here, well, sure. What are we doing here? You put 3, 2, 1, 2, 3, 2, you got a point there?
Yes.
You got -2, 2, -2, 2, you have a point there?
Yes.
You've got -2, -2, so there's a point there?
Yep.
And you've got 1, 2, 3, -2, and a point there. So here's your rectangle, right? And I would tell you this, as we've said multiple times before, when you're finding perimeter or area, you need to count the spaces, not the tick marks, not the hash marks. So if I'm trying to figure out this distance from here to here, I count 1 space, 2 space, 3 space. That's 4 units high. This would be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. There are 5 spaces here. So that is a 4 by 5 rectangle. So what is the area of that rectangle? Length times width, 4 times 5. It is 20 units squared in the area. If they ask you for the perimeter, it would be 5 plus 5 plus 4 plus 4, which would be 18, I believe. David, where'd you go wrong, sir?
I multiplied the 2 5s and then.
Oh, that sounds like that. David here.
Well, I don't understand why I got number 15.
Problem 15 is on the proverbial table here. Is that over here, maybe? 13, 14, 15. The area of this triangle. Avery, did you write the formula for the area of a triangle, which is something I put on my notes? What is the formula for the area of a triangle?
Area equals 1/2.
And what did you figure out was the base and the height of this triangle?
8 and 6.
So you're telling me that you did area equals 1/2 of 8 times 6, and you still didn't get the right answer? Now, please understand this. If you got this and got wrong here, Avery, you probably took half of 8 and half of 6 and multiplied it together. You can't do that if that's what you did. That means you multiply by 1/2 twice. You only multiply, it's 1/2 times 8 times 6. You don't multiply the half by both of them. You can do half times 8 and get 4, and 4 times 6 is 24. You can do 8 times 6, which is 48, and take half of that, which is 24. You could take half of 6 and get 3, and 3 times 8, which is 24. But you can't take half of 8, say that's 4, then take half of 6, say that's 3, and get 12. That doesn't work that way. What did you get for an answer?
12.
Is that what you did?
Yeah.
Yeah, you can't take half of both of them. That means what you did, Avery, was multiply. This was the problem you did. You did 1/2 times 1/2 times 8 times 6. You multiply by half twice. You can't. There is no such thing as the distributive property with multiplication. Okay, you can't. 3 things times themselves doesn't work that way. Avery, that would be here. Let me see if this makes sense. See, if I had 3 times 5 times 4, to do that, you'd be saying that this is true. You would take 3 times 5 and get 15, and take 3 times 4 and get 12, and then multiply those two together, which would give you a way higher number than it should be. 3 times 5 times 4 is 60, because 3 times 5 is 15 times 4 is 60. You can only multiply by that once. Is that a fly? What was that, right?
Fly's a fly guy.
Does fly in that sense mean cool? Dapper?
Yeah.
You're a fly, right? What you got, power?
So if it asks for the area instead of centimeters, won't it be centimeters squared?
Yes.
But if it doesn't tell you what it was, units.
Unit squared. Just because that's the generic thing of things you don't know is unit squared, yes. Uh-oh. Why are you asking it like that? What?
What was 6?
What was 6? To me, it looks like 6 was 18. Let me go back and do that. I had it all up there.
I don't know how to find which side was. How much each side is, because I did one.
You don't know how to find which side is which, huh?
It's around like units squared.
To the left? We're talking about this problem here, right?
Yeah.
You don't know how to find what?
The length of each side.
So you don't know how to count from here to here? It's taking this 1 space, 2 spaces, 3 spaces, 4 spaces, 5 spaces. Here, it's 3 units from this side of the axis and 2 units from that side, so 3 plus 2 will give you a total of 5. Where people go wrong is, like I said, they count the tick marks and they'll go, oh, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, but you can't do that because you're counting like one thing twice. You can't do that. Awkward silence. Any other questions? Anderson definitely wants. Chris, you got another question? David, you will have one. Any other questions that are pertinent to this? Nobody really? This is it. Thank you, Reagan. I can do number 20. At least I've done it once before. Let's try again. Did you write them up and down, Reagan?
Yeah.
Did you change the common denominators, Reagan?
Yeah.
5, 6 minus 1/4. The common denominator is what? 12, right? Or 24, it doesn't matter what you use. What'd you use? If you use 24, that just means you gotta reduce more. And then did you go, okay, 4 times 6 is 24, so 1 times 6 is 6. 6 times 4 is 24, so 5 times 4 is 20. 20 plus 6 is 26 24ths. And that needs to be both reduced and changed. What? Oh, well, that makes sense. 20 minus 6 is 14 24ths. You saved me a lot of undue. Did you get 14 24ths, Reagan? What did you get? Did you add it like I did?
No, I need 12, 22.
Yeah, well, that'll do it. So this would be 7 12ths. Ladies and gentlemen, these are the times that Simon sold. Does it have anything to do with math at all? Sure.
Is 0 a prime number?
No. If you know the fundamental rules of prime numbers, the definition of a prime number is a prime number has to have exactly 2 factors. Just like 1's not a prime number. It has to have 2. 0, you know, like that, 0 technically could have an unlimited number of vectors because 0 times anything is 0. Has to have exactly 2 factors. Was there some sort of debate that is wrong? No.
I was just curious.
No. Well, thank you for your.
Curious
All
people.
right. Ellie, I would love to do number 4. If Robert reads 2 pages per minute, how many pages could he read in 1.5 hours? And the only problem with this, LMA is this gives you his speed in minutes, and this gives you the time in hours. So your choices are this. Either you need to change minute here into hours, or you need to change hours into minutes. And I don't think you want to change 1 minute into hours, but you could. What is a minute? A minute is what of an hour? 1/60th. And you don't want to do that. Okay. You want to change 1.5 hours into minutes. 1.5 hours is what? 60 minutes is 1 hour. A half an hour is 30 minutes. You add them together. This is 90 minutes. And then you say, okay, if you're reading 2 pages every minute and you have 90 minutes, you're going to have 90 times 2, which is 180. Oh, then you'd have to change hours in them. Yeah. Any more? Oh, boy. All right, so here is the deal. Let me stop this crazy thing, Jane. I'm going to give you a